What's up, jabronis? We're back again with another installment of the Humpcast. This week we've got Frank Huerta on the couch, your loving host, somewhere out in the universe, wherever Haber and Jake the Snake are. I hope they're shredding it up. This is a show that's coming up this week. It's a free one. You can't beat that. Should be a good time. We'll get into it a little bit more with that. As usual, we're always brought to you by Common Sense, favorite gift shop in town for books. We'll pick up some stickers and whatnot from them. And we're going to jump into the Humpcast. What is up, jabronis? How are you all this week? We're back again with the 16th installment of the Humpcast. Once again, we're back to jabber at you. Maybe you're on the raid. Maybe you're, I don't know. Maybe you're on the raid. Maybe you're lonely. Whatever the case is, we're very happy that you're joining us. On the couch, we have Frankie. Say hi, Frank.
Hello.
And of course, we're brought to you by Common Sense. This week, I'm plugging a show that we're playing with Stay Lucky, band I play bass in. And that is going to be at JJ Billiards, kind of a different venue. They haven't done a lot of stuff. Usually they have, yep, 12th Street. It's 309 South Elmwood, like 12th and Elmwood.
By Burger Time.
Yeah, they remodeled that place. Did you ever go in there before? Have you ever been there?
I've been in there, yeah, I think 2 or 3 times.
Long time ago?
Like when I was like 21.
Okay. So dude, it was kind of a little bit run down.
A little bit, yeah. It was really small and really cramped and really packed, but
very much so. Yeah, it's they really changed it around. They remodeled it. I mean, I don't know how much they spent.
They're just trying to stay competitive, yo.
Yeah, they made it look really nice. Cause I've been in there plenty of times. And they have a stage area, and cool. I saw in the.
Didn't have one before.
No, so they've got a little platform, a little dance floor, and a bunch of pool tables. I met the guy who at one point was.
It's billiards.
It's JJ Billiards. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, brand new fucking drywall, like every square. I went in and got a chance to meet the owners, Greg and John, on Tuesday. Tuesday, yesterday. Maybe it was Monday. Whatever. And had an opportunity to meet with them. They're very nice guys. Watched the hockey game, hung out there, and got drunk. It's a good place. It's a good place to go hang out, pretty laid back, you know, and like I said, really cleaned up. Like, you wouldn't be scared to take a shit there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's always good. You don't like going to the bathroom and there's piss all over the floor.
That's kind of the general, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the general public restroom, you know what I mean? Like,
well, public restrooms and definitely like bars.
Just in
bars
general.
Is a place, you don't wear sandals at a bar, dude.
Not ideally,
you
know.
You wear your shoes.
Right. Yeah, some of the worst conditions to have to be required.
And you got to shit.
So yeah,
you gonna hover. That's how it's gonna go.
Oh, that's just nothing worse than that. Anyway, so that's the benefit. You know, for this show, you won't have to worry about that. So like I said, it's a free show. This band from Minneapolis, they're called Alistair Hennessy. They're gonna play, and my band, Some People's Kids. They're a new band. So remains to be seen what they'll sound like.
Punk band.
Yeah. I saw some.
I listened to some of their stuff on Facebook.
The videos? Or
did the videos. I think.
Did they do any recordings yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because I know they were in the process at some point, but.
Are they doing Cat House or what? Or are they doing it for themselves?
They're going out to the. I believe it's called Killdeer. You heard about this? It's out south on the south side of town. Like basically Harrisburg.
Huh. I didn't know there was another recording station.
They're renting out practice.
Valley Springs and other places too.
They're renting out practice spaces, and they have a studio there. I believe Dan Ludeman is like one of the main guys out there recording. Yeah, he's a guitar player, dude, from Spokane.
Oh, cool.
So I think he's doing that, and then he's got some partners and stuff. Anyhow, then I'll be opening the show acoustic, and it'll be a good time. Good chance for everyone to come out and support some some local music and this touring band. You know, they're coming from Fargo on their way to Omaha, and they needed a show last minute, so we threw something together for them. And you know, there's also another show April 20th, but we'll talk about that further down the road. Anything crazy this week, Frank, that you've heard about lately? I've been like thriving on the pineal gland. We were watching that little documentary.
Yeah, I noticed that when you came in. No, not really. I just watched the fights, but you know.
Yeah, George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
Oh no, I heard about it. You know, I didn't get a chance to watch it. You know,
yeah, I was pretty
disappointed. Yeah.
I cried a little inside.
You wanted Diaz to win?
I don't really like Nick Diaz, but yeah, I want George St. Pierre to lose finally. I feel like he just kind of holds guys down. He's a great wrestler. Just he's too good for wrestler. That's the deal. Took him down, just controlled him the whole time. Nothing he could do until he got tired, and then he. You know.
Did you pay for that pay-per-view?
Negative. No, I went to the bar actually on Saturday, which is fucking rare for me because I don't go to the bar. And
which one did you go to?
Went to the nickel spot thinking they were going to be there, and there was no fights.
Really?
Yeah.
So you ended up going to Champs?
No, I ended up just staying there, and we played pool and darts with my boys.
So you didn't even watch the fight?
No, I didn't even watch the fight. I ended up downloading it later.
Sailing the cyber seas.
Yes, indeed.
I see.
On the bay. So
I've been watching some crazy shit. I dig around into the nether regions of the internet just for my own entertainment. I was watching some telekinesis videos.
Oh yeah, have you seen that shit? Like the crazy levitation that they can actually produce.
Well, all I saw, everything that I saw was like pretty easily debunked, except for this one Swedish dude. His name was like Sven. Fucking something impronounceable, you know.
Yeah.
And Sven Ron, and I watched it, and it was the only one that I don't know. He was still holding the spoon, because a lot of it is just sleight of hand. They've already bent it, before they're even just trying to throw stuff out, whatever. And it's just the way they're positioning it, it's basically from your perspective, how you're watching it type of thing. So
Sure.
On camera, it's something that it can appear that it's
So he bent the spoon? Is that what happened?
This dude looked like he was bending the fucking spoon, man.
Oh, dude, that's the Matrix trick. You ever seen the Matrix?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I've never seen that. But I'm assuming that it's gotta be fake. It's gotta be a sleight of hand.
The thing,
or it's gotta be held on some sort of invisible wire, and it's such a flimsy spoon. Maybe they broke the little welding notch on it so it can actually bend easily, so you could actually have somebody standing above you moving it. That's just I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing, obviously.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't believe in telekinesis in that way. I believe that there is scientific telekinesis where it could actually, not telekinesis, obviously it's control with your mind, but where you can achieve levitation. Through, through
levitation, you can
called?
levitate?
You can achieve objects to levitate. I saw this video on YouTube where a guy actually set up an experiment where he used centrifugal force, where it spins really fast, basically in a circle, and the ball above it.
That's the definition of centrifugal.
And it just starts. That's the best definition I can come up with. It levitates this ping pong ball.
Okay.
In the air. So it was kind of cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's.
He does a bunch of experiments where he levitates all sorts of things. Basically,
but that's not telekinesis.
No, but it's levitation, which is basically telekinesis. Is you're supposed to be able to move with your mind and lift it up.
That's not that's not telekinetic at all. That's just right?
Yeah, but that's the closest thing I've.
But that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted.
Yeah, you're not gonna find that.
Well, hey man, I couldn't figure out that. Who knows? I don't know how. They're all Bjorgi because they're Swedish and shit. You know what I mean? It was, I don't know, it looked like...
Well, you watch, Magic, David Blaine...
I don't.
And Chris Angel...
I don't. I believe it's all real. No, I don't know.
You watch any of that stuff? I don't believe any of it's real, but it's just...
That's good. Because I don't want to...
I just think it's really cool to watch and see, how the fuck did they figure that out?
Yeah.
Chris Angel's got some pretty good ones that are pretty hard to debunk, the best one that I've seen, and it's just a small trick that he does, a street trick where he walks into a casino, because obviously it's all in Nevada and shit. walks into a casino, walks up to a table, pulls out a pen or picks a pen up off the table, puts it in the glass, and says, "Okay, everybody hold hands. We're gonna get this pen to spin around in the glass." Well, everybody holds hands, and the pen spins around in the glass and breaks the little wine glass in half.
Huh.
So that was a pretty cool trick. 'Cause it was like, how would he plan that?
But he doesn't ever like divulge, you know, like how he does his tricks, or does he?
No, he doesn't. I mean, it's magician's code. We're not allowed to give that kind of shit up. But I mean, he levitates in the middle of a fucking crowded casino, and he does all sorts of crazy shit.
So I mean,
swallows a pin with a rope and pulls it out of his belly button.
Huh.
Like a little
I haven't seen any of that.
Needle.
I have not seen any of that. That sounds pretty intense.
He does some pretty cool shit where he's
Right.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Do I think it's real? No.
Do I
but,
think it's real?
But it is pretty entertaining. Another one
But
that
you don't,
he does.
You don't think? You don't think it's possible that a person could
Maybe
like?
he's-
Have you?
Maybe if God and the devil are real and he's Satan, then I could see it.
That's
But other than
that's
that,
not where
no.
I'm going with this. I'm saying like, okay, this is part of the crazy shit that I was watching. Like, I mean, and I guess I don't know if this ties in with like new agey shit or whatever, but like they're saying that the internet told me the internet told me that the pineal gland. Is essentially like like a third eye, and that I've heard that in reptiles that it actually has retina in their brain, and that
I don't know if it has
the Egyptians were they kind of realized
Yep.
they realized that they could utilize that to communicate with
the underworld.
the spirit world, or what to us would be scientifically other alternate dimensions.
Of course.
And if you think about the vastness of the universe, and you look at Einstein's theory of relativity, and you're like, okay, we can only go the speed of light, so that's the problem. We're never going to be able to contact anything, like whatever. That it would only make sense that technology would progress to the point that it's not recognizable to us, but it can, like, it's connecting to that a different plane, a consciousness plane.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like that's the real like the different levels, and then the weirder thing that comes after that, and I don't know. It makes me feel so silly to question it, but like the whole Matrix theory, the whole like computer simulation thing.
It's such a cool fucking movie. It was a great idea. It was a great idea.
But I'm not talking about the Matrix for the movie. I'm saying
no, but you're saying in relation to like the real world. That what if it's something like that?
Did
That
you
you
ever
don't
see
realize
that?
what's going on?
Did you ever see that Gates little thing where he briefly talked about it? Dr. Stephen Gates, he's a famous astrophysicist out fucking on the East Coast, and he talks about the simulation theory. And he kind of sums it up briefly, and he was saying that within our DNA, that's where quantum physics jump in and kind of correlate, because he was saying that like the more and more they break shit down, and the weirder it is, like the observer can actually affect the outcome. You know what I mean? Like of where a photon is or whatever, like whether it's a particle or a wave and shit. Like it's just constantly like blinking in and out of existence, and like all this shit we don't understand. Like at this point, we're like, what? How does that work?
There's a lot to be explained.
Yeah, I mean this whole new age thing. I mean they could be, a lot of them are very overconfident with what they say. It seems like they're like, well, and this is they're like I don't know. They seem very matter of fact about things that seem very questionable. But I mean, I don't discount immediately the possibility that we could be, that our reality, the way that we understand it, could be a simulation.
It's possibility. I don't know if I.
It's not one that you.
That I would think that is highly probable. No. But I do believe in the third eye. I have believed in that. I just didn't know that it was called the pineal gland. Is that what it is?
Right.
Yeah, the pineal gland. I mean, I watched a documentary on Netflix called DMT. It's got Joe Rogan and
I saw the first part of that.
There's another gentleman who there's a guy who does all the art for Tool. I forgot his name. I can't remember his name right now. But they talk about how their experience with DMT is like life altering.
Right.
It really feels like maybe they're in some sort of realm beyond your current understanding. That's an actual
Sure.
plane of existence.
Right, exactly.
And did you catch that Dr. Stephen Greer with Joe Rogan?
Yes, I did.
You saw that one?
Oh yeah, so the whole
So
thing.
yeah, so that kind of goes back to what I was talking about, like as far as like us being able to communicate. Like with the Egyptians, they were saying that there were entities waiting for them. Like as soon as they showed up, like
they knew that
Like
that was the way that
they
would get contacted, like a phone call. Only you use your brain.
Oh, I've been waiting for you to call. Yeah, or you
yeah.
God, it's so fucking.
It is trippy, but if you think about it, the Egyptians weren't the only ones. I mean, the Hindus did it. The Buddhists did it.
What if it's
a
all,
lot of it?
What if it's all? What if
on
it's
that
all?
side of the world?
Sure.
The world did it.
What if it's all like super mundane and like all this is just bullshit? You know what I mean?
I doubt it. There's got to be some sort of significance because you got to think cultures thousands of years old were doing this. I mean, think about
that's not.
Well, think about the Native Americans. What did the Native Americans use? Like down south near Nevada and shit like that, they would eat peyote. And peyote was to speak to the gods to find their destiny. Or to get vision on a situation.
People have been getting fucked up on substances for a while, and they happen to see similar things.
But they happen to see similar things, but they take it more seriously.
Of course they do,
because
they have zero
in their life.
But they have less grasp. You know what I mean? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I like the skeptic in me, or the cynic. Either way you want to put it, says, you know, what if it's just a bunch of bullshit? You know, you don't sure kind of.
What if it is? What if it is? But what if it isn't? There's.
What if it isn't? Then the and that's the way I honestly feel is that the vastness of the possibilities are so huge that it could be anything. You know what I mean?
Do I believe that it maybe gives you special powers? Like once you trip on DMT, you can like develop telekinesis.
Okay, well think about this
phenomenon type.
Well, think about this. Like, I wonder how legit. You know, and this again could be just fucking people looking at contrails in the sky and fucking freaking out. But they say that.
Chemtrails.
Okay, but they say the internet told me that that fluoride is one of the big causes. It was fluoride, vaccines,
fluoride
preservatives, food coloring,
all bad for you.
But it was specifically for the pineal gland that it causes it to calcify. Whatever, I don't know.
I don't know what's significance there. I know that it is detrimental to your body. I know that fluoride doesn't need to be in your water. That's ridiculous. You're not supposed to ingest it. It's meant to be used to clean your teeth. Fluoride is a substance that they add to your water to clean the dirty water because obviously it's a sewage system. So all the dirty water comes in, they clean the water, and they feed it back to you. And that's exactly how it's worked. It's basically recycled. It's not like they can constantly find fresh water out in the middle of fucking nowhere. They have to recycle it.
Well, but I'm saying, do you think fluoride is necessary in that process?
I don't think it is at all. No. I feel that that's the cheapest way to do it and the way they've done it for years.
Okay.
So they haven't looked for an alternative
Because that would beg the... Yeah, well, that seems to be...
I believe that they didn't know that it was that way when they first started doing it, and then through technology and science they figured it out.
Sure, wouldn't it be interesting, though, if, in fact, like, they were able to, like, say... Not necessarily, like, telepathy or fucking, like... telekinesis or whatever.
But they purposely put fluoride in to prevent your body from achieving those
from being
those
like
evolutionary steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for us advancing, like
I don't know.
There's
that's definitely a possibility. I'm just saying I don't think that a trip would do that. Maybe that we would naturally do that, like an actual drug trip would actually achieve those things. That's what I'm saying.
Wouldn't it be almost applicable to like marijuana too? Because if you look at, the way, I don't know, it's like they can profit off of our society being chaotic, and we're easily controlled when things are chaotic like that.
Obviously, because then if you have so much to worry about, you kind of skip the little shit that could actually be big shit on the surface.
Anytime you throw out the word Illuminati, it's like people fucking are like, oh, you know what I mean? They just write you off as a crazy conspiracy theory.
Absolutely, that's like the first thing that people would say.
I've felt the same way consistently, since I was old enough to look around and be like, wow, our media is fucked up,
Our media is fucked.
It doesn't take a lot to question
and it's both sides. It's not just like watching Fox News. If you watch CNN, you'll achieve the same things where they give arguments for things that are absolutely just they're ridiculous.
I think it's so natural within human nature to immediately start questioning authority because you know as you come of age and you're growing up, you immediately are you're trying to fucking fucking rebel against something. You know, you're growing. I mean, like to some extent, don't you think?
I think
that you question authority. You know?
There's an evolution to just being a person,
right?
And that has a lot to do with your upbringing. For instance, like how many people start out believing that your parents are always right, the smartest and most intelligent people that you know, and then you hit kind of that puberty, prepubescence, and you start realizing that, hey, maybe there's some things they don't understand, maybe there's some things that they're guessing on.
Sure.
Then you turn into an adult and you realize that, you know, I actually might know more than they do about a lot of things, you know, and it turns into that whole, like, then you question. How much are people hiding from me?
Yeah.
How much truth is out there that is all sheltered and narrowed by my perspective?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really weird, you know, like of course now with the internet, it's like just like
you can't do it. You can't even achieve that because you just. You know, it's so easy to find the information is just easy now.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Find it anywhere.
To quote Bill Bray, you go to imright.com, you know, you're always able to go out there and find something that...
whatever you're looking for, somebody's got to agree with you somewhere in the world.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of the web. It's also, you know, the bad part of the web is that, you know...
Well, I mean, I saw...
You got to compare the web to TV, though.
Yeah.
The web is definitely more informative than the web than TV is, because TV is like completely controlled.
Sure,
it's completely controlled.
Absolutely, but I mean that's the scary thing. So I mean, like I think there's a lot of things that ring true within, you know what I mean, like what you would call crazy conspiracy theories.
Sure.
I mean, I leave myself open. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't put it past. You know what I mean? Our government to to fucking orchestrate something like 9/11 or to be.
I wouldn't pass them putting a role in there. I think that's more what you're thinking, right? Yeah, I mean you don't think that the government planned everything. Maybe the government had a role in it. Yes. I don't think that they're the masterminds. That's what I'm saying. Is if you were to follow the hill of shit. They would not be at the top. There would be a smaller group of men who kind of run everything.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yep. Exactly. I would say that our government's authority is eclipsed by these corporations.
Absolutely. Yep.
These corporations and the
everybody's got a boss.
And the people at the top, and the people at the very top are most likely not watching this podcast.
No, you would never find them. Those people probably haven't even been seen.
But
they get in and out of like from one car to the other car, probably like 5 feet away, just so nobody can find these gazillionaires who, you know, I highly doubt they're public figures.
What kind of a life do you think that person like that is leading? Like, I mean, just one of just decadent fucking like super orgies, or like I think I'm horny today. Let's get Heather Locklear, get all the girls from Saved by the Bell, and
I'm sure they have.
Well, I mean, like what did they do to be decadent? Like, I mean, like what are they doing all day? I mean, other than like just fucking people over. I mean, like when they're not working, like golfing. A little golf.
Golf is a big one for
maybe a little people. Golf. Go do like the Eyes Wide Shut orgy.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason golf is on TV. Golf is pretty fucking boring. Well, I don't think it's like a bad sport. I actually do think it takes talent. I do think it takes practice. I do think it is a sport.
Yeah.
I feel that
I've never tried it.
Incredibly boring.
It seems more like
I've mini golfed. I love mini golf.
It seems more like a game than a sport. To me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's more like a board game. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's more like a board game.
It really feels.
It's more of like a game. You know what I mean? It all depends on how you play it. Yeah, if you're going out competing, playing a game, all right, whatever. It's like you watch the fucking
sport.
You watch the Olympic fucking ping pong, dude.
Yeah.
Those guys like standing like fucking 8
feet
away, fucking like huge fucking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean. Yeah. And I heard that they were pulling the Chinese, like they dominated consistently in ping pong, probably to this day, and I believe it. I saw it in pool too. And this is probably like for pool. What they were saying is because they will pull, like if they find kids, it's like kind of like our gym class. Like if we had gym class and all of a sudden one of us is pretty good at it, guess what? You're not going to school anymore. Your whole life from now on is all ping pong, and like that, we as in our culture aren't going to deprive our children of having the experiences of, life outside of just ping pong. Chinese, ping pong every day. This is your whole life.
You must be the best in the world.
This is your life now.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're competing against someone that their entire life is, that.
Played ping pong.
Yeah, they're emotionally traumatized from ping pong. They've probably, you know what I mean?
Well,
who knows what kind of tactics?
I mean, you got both sides of that sword. Where what if the kid loves it? What if the kid that's all he thinks about is ping pong? He's so good at ping pong. He's just obsessed with ping pong. Then you run into that kind of
I don't know.
thing.
I don't know.
Because now out here you have the opposite effect where, let's say you're really good at something and you want to dedicate all your time to doing it, but you can't.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. From here, it's like your government isn't gonna. If you're a great wrestler, your government isn't gonna pay. You got to beat everybody in the nation, and then the government will be like, you know what? You can try out for the Olympics.
That's some of that socialist commie hippie crap talk. What the world needs
is
the free market.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. It's such a fucked up society that we live in. I mean, as far as trying to find a balance, like,
it's not perfect.
I don't want to
be.
be.
That was my devil's advocate argument. It's not perfect anywhere. I mean,
that's true.
It's gonna be fucked up regardless of where you go.
But at some places, you have to admit, it would be pretty cool to be born like Swedish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta say, the Swedes, they got it.
They're bending spoons. Got it all right. They're fucking
now. I mean, previously
on Swedes. What happened to them?
Well, I mean, they were completely taken over by Christian religion and all that kind of stuff, and that's kind of the Norwegian and Swedish.
So what? Just let the Christians
strip
dominate.
Them of all
you just tell them that you accept Jesus Christ. Yeah, you let them do whatever.
Not saying that they didn't. Hey, listen, Swedes, they didn't just get you guys. They got the natives.
They got pretty much everyone, didn't they?
They got the
natives.
natives.
They get like the whole world except for the Muslims.
Most of it, yeah. Well, the Muslims, they fight, man. They're crazy motherfuckers.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you think like the
Well, yeah. I mean, you think about it. They owned India. You know what I mean? They obviously owned most of North America, except for Spain. Spain owned Mexico.
Okay, so we're this
and California.
This elite group of fucking, we're assuming old men and fucking inside families. They say it's like the 7 families, Rothschild, fucking Rockefellers.
Rockefeller's another big one.
So do you think that
JP Morgan?
Yeah, all these fucks. I mean, what if oh man, I'm gonna get myself. What if
you get hit? I don't think you ain't too worried about you, Donnie. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at our views. If any of you guys are out there,
we can talk shit, but nothing's gonna happen. We're no threat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what are
we gonna do?
What if me and my cat?
I'll throw my $15 that I got in my pocket at you.
What if me and my cat? What if me and my cat coordinated an attack and we took out all those families all at once? I just said that. I said it, and no one cares. What do you think? I mean, like, do you think society would just fucking like? I mean, how much better do you think it would be? You know what I mean? Like,
if without those families,
yeah,
I think it would obviously be anarchy at first.
Think so?
Absolutely.
But we've got the structures in place to keep shit there. You know what I'm saying? It's just
we have the structures to keep society as a whole,
dude,
with a monetary
it's
system.
Bullshit. They're hogging up all of the fucking wealth. If those bitches were gone, obviously someone's always going to rise to the top. That's fine. But right now it is so disproportionate. That's why people are turning out in the street saying, fuck this.
Yeah.
These people need to go. They need to go. You know, like, in the only way, because we can't fucking go out and, you know what I mean? I'm sure someone else has thought about it.
Nothing you can do.
I bet they do. Think about how much they're watching their back. How many people would want to kill those people?
That's why I said that they probably move from car to car. Like, they park out front, and there's, like, surrounded by security, and they got a hood on and everything, and they're not
probably well guarded.
Yeah, of course they are, man. They're like the president. They have their own security team with them at all times.
And they probably grew up guarded, you know what I mean, obviously. And so it's like whatever kind of weird society they operate within.
My question is how far back do those families go?
Oh, dude.
That's my question.
You can already look at...
I mean, you can go to the 1800s, but I'm talking like how far back?
Right.
How far? I mean, the 1800s
it's so fucking
is pretty
creepy,
obvious.
Dude. What if all this shit were just, like... even if just like a sliver of it were true and you expanded on it and then like it just were like, yeah, man.
See the family tree and see how ridiculous it might have been. Like maybe they had connections to the Romans or some shit, you know, like way the fuck back there.
I mean, I think people are grabbing at straws. I mean, they want to try and understand the truth as much as they can. And you know, they say it's Kabbalah. You know, celebrities get into Kabbalah and they fucking. I think that a religion and church is just another tool that's used to control people
in some way, shape, or form. Yes,
absolutely.
And it doesn't really matter which religion you're.
It's the agenda.
It's still a piece of the puzzle. It's still a piece of.
Everyone's got an agenda. Everyone's got an agenda, and if you look at how gated their communities are, and like how we're talking about how like you know how sheltered and removed they must be from, you know, people like you and me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like to us, we must just be animals to them. You know, why wouldn't we be controlled? Why wouldn't we be controlled fucking like, you know what I mean, sheep or cattle, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, they're putting chemicals in us and like there's ain't shit we can do about it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? No one's gonna fucking like go against their fucking if they're in the Air Force, go against their uniform and fucking get court-martialed, you know, and fucking go to fucking prison forever.
Even if they don't agree with what's going on.
Right, and I just saw an article fucking, and it was in the Argus Leader, and it was like in the international section of the very back saying that that the government just now was coming out saying, admitting that they're doing cloud seeding out in California and Arizona, and they've been talking about chemtrails in Arizona forever.
Yeah.
And we were like, no.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, yeah, we were cloud seeding in order to stimulate rain. We want rain to be there, and they've already the other thing that they have, you know.
We're almost.
The internet told me that they documented
of a Type 1 civilization, which is pretty fucking crazy.
What do you mean?
There's like 3 types of civilizations. There's obviously
three.
There's 3 that we logically our minds can handle. 0 is the one that we're at right now. Is basically we're still in the phase 1 of all that. Type 1 civilization is where we can control the weather, we can manipulate the earth, we can control our planet.
Okay.
Okay. Type 2 is where we would use our solar system as like for mining and for control planets and organize all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
kind of like
what's Type 3?
Type 3 is like Star Trek.
Interstellar?
Man. Yep. Type 3 is like Star Trek, where you're actually galaxies are now countries, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah,
it's that large community, and then, you know, that falls in the same thing as like Star Wars and all that kind of stuff.
See,
it's like that's all existed in science fiction. We just never thought that it was possible, but it's the only evolutionary step.
Frank, it's all a fucking Matrix. it's all a fucking Matrix. It doesn't matter.
It does. It obviously fucking matters.
All they do is they unplug the silicone chip, and our whole life is over. all of existence is over. And we've been sitting here worried about why can't we reach infinity and why these epic spaces are there. It's, you know, why when we start studying what we're made out of, it just blinks in and out of existence, and it's affected when we look at it. Dude, those are the symptoms of a fucking Matrix, man.
You think that's like
quantum physics?
That's like the deja vu glitch. So they changed something in the Matrix.
No, they're
the constant system
observing
updating.
They're observing it exactly. They're observing the fucking universe buffering is what they're doing when they're breaking down fucking quantum physics, because you can't break it down anymore. At least not with the technology that we have, which is, I would think, pretty substantial. Even the shit that isn't controlled from the top. I mean, we've got some pretty smart fuckers out there, right? I would hope.
Yes, but even then, I mean, you know, you got pretty smart fuckers who
speculating.
Well, let's think about a lot of the people now, at least, that run the scientific community and are in that realm were highly educated through some sort of college system. Now, who controls the college curriculum? Who controls the info that these people are getting? Right. A lot of them are from this country as well. They're not from other countries. If you were to go to like Sweden or whatever, they would have a completely different curriculum than here.
Okay.
So the smartest guys here are generally not as smart as they would be in other countries. In certain countries like Switzerland and Sweden, they all have higher IQs on average than we do. Japan, China. So if you're comparing that, I don't know what technology the other countries have. We can only speak.
I think that again relates to like, I mean, I don't think, God, I sound like such a fucking tinfoil hat wearing fucking conspiracy theory. I don't think the Illuminati can keep us. They can't
Armadillo,
suppress.
that's what it is.
They can't suppress our natural human instincts. But I honestly think that they can't keep the human, you know what I mean, instinct down. Like I could buy into the theory of like
talking about chaos theory, like in Jurassic Park, how he talks about chaos theory.
No, I'm
and
saying
how life finds a way.
I exactly, kind of, yeah, exactly. Like the more they try and suppress, you know what I mean.
It's gonna find a way.
It's
gonna find a way out eventually.
What if just one, and I don't know. What if just one of those things were in a trick? What if there's someone out there that had the ability to fucking bend spoons with their fucking mind? What would that mean to you? Would that mean anything? That wouldn't suggest Matrix-like thing, maybe?
That would suggest there has to be some sort of scientific explanation for that.
Perhaps the pineal gland that is underdeveloped, and that's the next step in evolution. What if we're just turning into aliens? Wouldn't that be okay? Because, I mean, if you bought into the theory of evolution.
Well, if you bought, see,
and what we're spotting, what we've been spotting throughout history, is just.
How do you make that connection from evolution? If we came from monkeys.
Yeah.
So it would be the next step would be we would metamorphosize into something more than human.
Right, aliens. But
then how would that not prove that we are non-terrestrial?
What do you mean?
If we turn into aliens.
Yeah.
Then that would mean that all life on this planet was placed here, and therefore we would not be terrestrial. We'd be non-terrestrial.
What I'm talking about is what we perceive as aliens. It are in fact
non-terrestrial entities.
Yeah. Or interdimensional.
Same thing. I mean, basically things not of this earth.
Well, maybe not the same thing, because maybe in this reality it ends sooner, you know what I mean? There's any vast variety of things that could happen to where in a different dimension, that, you know what I mean, they go on and they develop that technology, whereas this one we destroy ourselves. And so they just come to check it, you know what I mean, check to see, okay, what exactly we do wrong? Okay, let's not do that. All right.
They use this as a point of reference.
Right.
For one of the big experiments that they're running.
Sure. Again,
just to make sure they can control their outcome.
Simulation, man. But yeah, I think I definitely I like the idea of there being many different levels of reality.
I do feel that there is a lot of if you've ever looked into ancient astronaut theory.
Oh yeah.
There is a lot of connections to that whole. We are under some sort of controlled environment. We are maybe an experiment.
An experiment, right?
Like when they talk about Noah's Ark, for instance. How do you know Noah's Ark wasn't just a collection of DNA files? How do we know that? How do we know that Noah didn't actually have a huge boat with two of each animal? What if he had, like, just crates full of every animal's DNA?
But wouldn't that still essentially be two of each animal?
You wouldn't need a male and female.
No, I'm saying even if you just had the ID, or okay, I see.
See, what if you used that, and then what they did was once they wiped out the Earth, they used those DNA files to clone, and create all the species.
It's a lot of work. Why would you wipe it out in the first place?
You think it's a lot of work. What if they feel that they fucked up and there's things that they want to change?
They fucked up.
Circumstances that they would like to change.
Let's drown this. Let's start over from scratch.
Well, maybe it was just a portion of the Earth that they wanted to re-terraform or re-change. You know what I mean? And the thing is, once your technology gets to that point, not really. Not if they're non-terrestrial. We don't know what they're technologically capable of.
Or even what they're.
This might not be a big deal to them. If they're a Type 3 civilization, they can easily mold the Earth because they've been doing it for thousands of years prior to that. Because there's billions of years in between.
But they're gonna entrust the DNA to a guy in a boat. They're gonna be here. Let's put.
Well, really, what was he? He was just a babysitter. That's really all he was. He was just supposed to survive with his kids, and we're all supposed to spawn from him. And we don't even know if Noah was maybe not a person.
Right.
I mean, he was supposedly a 6-year-old drunk, or 600 years old drunk. So I mean, you got to think about that. 600 years? Come on now. The guy probably wasn't an actual person. He was probably something else.
Everything's going back to the pineal gland. I'm telling you, it's why I don't have a whammy bar on my guitar, because every song will have fucking whammy in it. I'm telling you, man, fucking one of those things they were saying that the pineal gland regulates is the body's aging process.
True.
So maybe he's 600 years old. Maybe before Christ there was like you were saying, you're talking about ancient aliens and ancient civilizations. So being that we can at least acknowledge the possibility that there were like advanced civilizations like going on. You know what I mean? That there could not be any evidence of. Like, what if we
Lost City of Atlantis is a big one.
What if we advanced as far as we did now, and then it just got eradicated by an event?
Like the Matrix, where it resets.
No, not like the Matrix. like there's like the dinosaur.
Like it's a large cycle. Like it's all one cycle, and we just don't know what the cycle is.
If there were an event and there was somehow like enough time that passed to where everything just eventually disintegrated.
Started all over again. Then,
yeah, started all over.
It's possible.
I mean,
it's pretty likely. I think even scientists agree that the life on this planet didn't come from this planet. This planet didn't just develop life. That there had to have been some sort of asteroid that brought the life to this planet. There had to be some sort of non-terrestrial deal that brought the bacteria to even start everything, to even light the flame. You know.
Sure. Well, I mean, when everything was forming, I mean, maybe it was, within the elements when the Earth originally formed. Who knows? I mean, like,
it doesn't make sense if you go back, prehistoric.
Okay,
even before the dinosaurs.
Either way, life showed up on Earth. We're a couple of fucking idiots that's sitting around taping ourselves talking about shit we don't understand.
Yeah.
That no one understands.
Look how well we use our evolution.
This is what we're doing with our evolution. I guess
Jibba jabba.
It's all. Yeah, that's all you get. I mean, right? There's really no other way to look at it. I mean, we'll probably never see it within our lifetime. Did you hear about this? They said they discovered the God particle.
Yes, they've done that. That's been there a couple times though. I mean, where they've been like, we discovered this, and then they find out, a year or two down the road that it's actually another particle that's maybe a different variation of an existing particle, and it kind of runs like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I definitely...
I wait till the scientific community actually has a census.
Sure, yeah.
You gotta pause a little bit. While I do trust
them
over
they get excited.
Any other sort of input, like a religious input or anything like that, I trust the scientific community the most.
Mm-hmm.
But still, they're work in progress, and people need to realize that if they're work in progress, things that they believe now could change at any moment.
So, you're not, you believe we landed on the moon?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe we were up there.
Why not?
I believe we were up there. I believe that...
Doesn't it seem silly? It would be
hard, like when we were watching...
a silly thing to fake. Like, we sent this thing up in the air, there's footage, lots of people saw it. Seems pretty well documented. That seems like it...
we were watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about it'd be harder to fake than it would be to just send people up there. And it's true. It'd be really hard to fake. Really hard to fake.
Well, I mean, even if you just sent a rocket up there.
Yeah, and they can't judge the footage. I mean, the footage is from the fucking 60s. It's like the early invention of video cameras. I mean, really, you can't...
I just think there isn't really much going on the moon.
You can't really... There's nothing going on.
But I did...
That we know of, obviously. I mean, who knows, Who knows what's going on out there? We don't fucking know. I know what's going on in my house sometimes. Most times, Like, that's the extent of what I can claim as my knowledge.
And even that is questionable because they say that, the internet told me, that, basically, like, your eyes, it's upside down, right? I mean, you look at
what you're seeing is not actually what's going on.
Right.
So...
Right.
Yeah.
But we can...
Perception's controlled by something, which is weird. That's an odd thought.
Well, it's just basically your perception of, our reality is like all these electronic pulses, like all of our senses, our five senses, basically. So,
How many, is there extra senses we don't know about that are maybe not interpreted in the information? Therefore, we're missing pieces of the puzzle. We only see, 3/4 of the picture?
Or are we just vastly reading into it and it's just way more mundane than that, and we're just these bones? I don't know, but it does seem weird to me, and that's why, like I said, I go back. I like the idea of different dimensions because that makes sense. It makes sense that there could be different things operating right on top of each other.
It's the only logical solution to me, as well as the multiverse is the only thing that you could possibly think of, is because the multiverse is obvious that in this very same plane of existence, other things could be existing. We're just not in connection with them.
Right. Yeah.
So that's my whole theory behind ghosts. Like when people think that they feel ghosts, they feel like somebody else is in the room. Somebody else is in the room, or in this same portion of the existence plane,
Sure.
and you're sharing it with somebody, and that's that odd feeling you get. Somebody else is in the room, but you're not in any sort of danger.
Yeah.
You know, that's what, because it's a scary feeling because you don't know what it is. So automatically,
it really is. It really is. I mean, like, isn't it weird though? I mean, like, that's why I can see evolution being, like, conceivably, or you know what I mean, like, plausible to me. Is because, like, you get me in a dark enough area, fucking near late at night, your brain starts to run wild, you know what I mean? It's just like
it can.
Versus, like, that same area fully lit, broad daylight day.
I spend the whole night in a huge fucking hotel. Nobody's out.
Yeah.
When I hear a sound, I fucking fly up, like, I'm just like...
Yeah.
Immediately.
So do you think that ghosts are just like kind of overlapping dimensional events?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Sure, and they don't even need to line up with our time at all. I mean, because we don't know where we are in the great scheme of time. You know what I mean? We don't know if our time intersects with their time. Like, let's say right now isn't right now for them. It's actually in the past for them. Like, let's say we're just naturally 10 minutes behind them. You know? Like, we don't know how the dimensions are actually connected. We don't know if we're connected through some sort of chronological order, if we're connected through some sort of
if it's actually happening at the
volume.
If it's actually happening at the exact same time.
Yeah, we don't know if it's simultaneous or not. There's a delay.
In my brain, I just heard the stereo effect. Like I was tracking myself.
Yeah.
So like that's what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ultimately, yeah. And like and in the end, what the hell is it all for? Like I mean, it just doesn't. Whatever. I guess it's there. I guess life is there to be lived, right? I mean, for what other purpose could it be there for?
Exactly.
We do the things that make us happy, I would think.
The things that should matter should be the things that you experience while you're here.
And hopefully the things that make you happy aren't things that, hurt other people.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all perspective as well,
That's all perspective? What about the fucking...
That's all perspective.
What about all the sick freaks out there, like Gacy? For us to be like, Gacy, you do what you want to do, champ. No, man.
No, I'm not saying you do what you want to do, but, if you were to put Gacy in nature, would he be considered evil? Like, let's say Gacy wasn't a person. Let's say he was a lion. Let's say it was a lion. Let's say he was a lion who just loved to kill things.
Well, if you were a lion that just loved to kill things...
And he killed his whole pack. He had no problems doing anything like that.
Right. Well,
Think about that.
What would happen is he eventually would get taken out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He would go after the wrong lion's cub. He would fuck up. Exactly. He would kill, a lioness or someone else's lioness or whatever. You know what I mean?
But same thing happened here. Eventually, he got caught.
And he got
fucked up.
And he did get fucked up. Yes.
So, nature tends to work its way out. Do I think it's fucked up that he did that and that whatever happened to him?
Nature has a way.
But nature has a way. I just feel that that's how it is. I mean, like, if you were to... It's our human perspective on the world. We have a human perspective as opposed to an...
But it's
animal.
But it's
animal. Yeah, what's evil, though? Think about this. We'll just stick with the lions, okay?
Sure.
Let's say a lion wants to mate with a female lion. The female lion doesn't want him to mate.
Okay.
He rapes her.
Right.
We would think that's terrible. That's wrong. You do not do that. That's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But in nature, that happens all the time. It happens all the time.
But we're talking about different animals, though. We are talking about different animals.
But they're still nature-based. If you think that you're so disconnected from animals that, like...
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. That is the thing that distinguishes us from them. Is our ability? Yes, is our consciousness and our ability to reason. It advances. Sure. It advances further than. So that's why we develop the morals to say this is morally wrong.
Of course, but the explanation, even psychologically, would be that obviously he has some sort of problem with his natural intake.
Well, his impulse is he's not able to
distinguish the difference between nature and
morality.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, basically,
exactly, because there is no morality in nature. There is no morality.
Yeah, I mean that. But I'm saying
they eat their own cubs, Donnie.
Right. Right.
There's no morality, and that's the difference. Is like what if he grew up in a place where morality was, like blurred, but nature was, accepted.
Welcome back, Riff. That's our welcome back riff, and I don't know, why not? We really are turning into Wayne's World. I think that's going to be a little high.
It is a little high.
Just like me. But in Shang.
We should scoot over a little bit.
All right. We're sorry we got cut off there. We ran out of space, and so here we are back again. I think we're about like an hour in, 50 minutes in. Yeah. So, you know, another 16th installment. I think you've been on since like the what 7th?
I don't know. Wow.
8th,
Yeah. Wow.
Something like that.
On and off, kind of.
So that's good, man. I think we're gonna do one more episode here, and then my HQ is changing. I'm moving out of my place. I've been here for 3 years, and it's been a good little joint. And so we'll be, you know, I'll be, I don't know, nostalgic. I'll be nostalgic. Where's the couch? Yeah. I don't know where the couch is going yet. Anyone's looking for a good couch? This one's almost there. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I have a huge L-shaped couch. So.
Yeah. I'm renting out a room that this guy I went to college with, and that'll be really cheap, and that's good because I need to save up money to get the amp that I want and the guitar that I want. And not that there's anything wrong with the Jackson. I want to thank Eric Anderson for selling me this Jackson. The more I've been playing it, I fucking love it, man. I never thought I'd be a Jackson dude, but it sounds good, you know?
If it sounds good and it plays good, then it is good, Donnie.
Yes, for sure. Regardless of whether it's a $500 guitar or, you know.
It doesn't really matter, yeah. There's guys who play super cheap guitars who fucking... Like Jack White.
Yeah.
He's not a really prolific guitar player, but, you know, he does play really cheap guitars, and he makes them sound original, because he's got his own sound. Can't argue with that shit, so...
There is something to be said about a fucking Gibson SG, you know, even a P90. I mean, it's a $1,300 guitar, and that's the one I want. You know what I mean? I'm playing through a Line 6 amp, and Line 6, I mean, they make really good gear. I mean, like...
I love their shit.
Yeah, they sound great.
So cheap, and it sounds so good for what you pay for.
$50 amp and a $300 guitar later, and I'm set up, and I'm back in business.
It's
riffing.
not cheap being a musician.
Yeah,
at all.
And so, you know...
I've got, like, 5 guitars.
Nice.
Yeah, so, I mean, altogether, they're probably like $4 or $5 grand in my fucking house sitting there.
Beautiful. I mean, the amp that I want, it's a Bugera open back, fucking tube amp, 3 channels on that sucker. I'm gonna save up and get it, $700 now. So, just gotta save up the money and...
Just the head or the combo?
No, it's a combo. Yeah, combo 212. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Selection 30s?
I'm not sure what's in them, but I can tell you that they sound fucking awesome. Yeah. And built-in noise gate in the amp. You know?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fucking, for those of you out there who have no idea what we're talking about, noise gate like helps regulate feedback and unwanted sounds that you don't want. Yeah. Just a sick amp that I really want. So I'm saving up for that, and so moving into a room that'll be a little different, and... I don't know, man. Again, I want to just mention that show that we're playing this Saturday. We really want people to show up. It's a little bit of a different thing for JJ Billiards because typically they just have bar bands that come in and play covers all night long. And
oh, really? I didn't even know they had that.
They do.
They probably didn't back in the day.
Since they've remodeled, yep. They had that little stage there. They had bands come in there and. You know, they were a little iffy about the show.
It's nice, man, that there's more places opening up.
That's what we need. That's why we want to encourage this.
So. It's going to help the scene immensely. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Boonies is fucking awesome.
It's great, but
Vincent is awesome, but it's like the same place every time. You know.
And not only that, like for some reason, man, like just rock shows, like it doesn't draw anything there, you know, like and it's so.
We've had a couple, but you got to have a lot of like bands who bring people in naturally. Right. The chances of you just having people there who are gonna see your music is just slim to none. So.
And that's another thing I should mention. This show on Saturday, kids, free. So you don't want to let this one go by. It's gonna be at JJ Billiards. It's over on West 12th there. Type it into the Google. 7 o'clock. I'm gonna go on and play some acoustic stuff. And it'll be good. So, any final thoughts for the day there?
Stay out of trouble, kids.
Yeah, I say stay out of trouble too. Question authority.
maybe dig a little deeper and see what the internet has to say.
I'll give you a riff of the day. I have no idea what it'll be. Let's see. Oh well, whatever. I fucked up the tremolo picking. I don't care. Yeah, so we want to thank you guys again for tuning into the Humpcast. We're brought to you every Wednesday. I try to get it up online by 11 usually. You know, I try my best. But yeah, subscribe to our YouTube page. We're on the YouTubes. Frank, you're doing Flux stuff nowadays, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Frank's doing Flux stuff, so keep an eye out for Flux and everything that he's doing with them with the heavy metaling. Keep an eye out for my band, Stay Lucky. We're writing new songs. We're going to be unveiling some new stuff this Saturday, so it's exciting. And basically, make sure to go check out Common Sense when you get some time. Go visit Monty, tell him that the podcast sent you over. It's very possible they could look at you like they don't know what you're talking about, but if it's Monty, he knows. Until next time, kids, stay safe.